In May of this year, Joe Biden gave the commencement speech for Howard University, which is a historically black college. Black graduates, their families and friends, faculty and staff. I was in the audience. During that speech, Joe Biden pandered to black people. He talked about Ketanji Brown Jackson and marijuana and police reform and an assault weapons ban. And he also said this:
to stand up against the poison of white supremacy, as I did in my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy. And I'm not saying this because I'm at a black HBCU.
He lied in that moment. Yes, he said it because he was at a historically black college. No, he does not say it everywhere he goes. There's a deep hypocrisy about Joe Biden and other people in his party who will say that they agree with those words and then turn around and fully support the funding of an apartheid state.
The military also bans Palestinians from using certain streets, as Ori shows me.
The streets that we're heading towards are mostly sterile, meaning that no Palestinian in the whole wide world can walk on those streets. If you do one step over here, no Palestinians are allowed here. If we take one step here, here Palestinians are allowed. And I don't know any other word to call this than apartheid.
But this is the creation of history. Almost every major and minor speech that a president gives is recorded history. So years from now, when his story is told, he will be on record as a president who condemned white supremacy, when in fact he called himself a Zionist and supports the Israeli apartheid regime. And you know what else is on the historical record? Our applause. The applause of the graduates, the faculty and staff, the families and friends of people at an HBCU. What won't be on the historical record is the brave young students who turned their backs to him, who brought attention to the lynching of Jordan Neely in New York, who called out Joe Biden for being complicit in imperialism, who knew that people were getting tossed in unmarked graves overseas because of his foreign policy under his presidency. And we are seeing the evidence of it today. Joe Biden lied about babies being beheaded so that we could be okay with genocide. And a lie that is not talked about enough, he lied about the Hamas charter. He said that their stated purpose for existing was to kill all Jewish people.
Hamas' stated purpose for existing is the destruction of the state of Israel and the murder of Jewish people.
That is a lie. One that leans on the historical oppression of Jewish people to get us to be okay with genocide.
That's the whole point of casting it as a pogrom, as hate crimes, as the day of the most Jewish bloodshed since the Holocaust, is it lifts it out of a geopolitical grinding occupation and battle over borders and land and rights, and puts it into this other story about the primordial hatred of the Jews, which is where Netanyahu wants it.
Further proof that never again only applies to certain bodies. It doesn't apply to Palestinian bodies or Congolese bodies or Sudanese bodies. Joe Biden is a liar like George Bush is a liar. And imperialists use lies to fuel wars. And now we have a ceasefire, a pause to fighting just in time for the holidays. Now Americans don't have to look at people being blown to pieces as they celebrate Thanksgiving and go buy things for Black Friday. They can say we gave them what they wanted. This is how they pacify us. Then they'll resume blowing up innocents and taking their land. And while this is happening, they have been, and are currently, plotting for oil and gas. Hundreds of billions of dollars worth. This is America. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments.